So you got an all-black family of monster hunters in the 1920s New York, developed and created by an all-black team of creatives. Oh, sign me up. Bitterroot is a brand new ongoing comic series coming out of Image Comics, and the first issue I believe came out in November of 2018, and volume 1, which is called Family Business, which includes the first 5 issues, just came out in July of last year. And I'd never heard of the comic before, despite coming out pretty much almost 2 years ago in 2018. The only reason I heard of it is because I happened to see an article online basically saying that Ryan Coogler is set to produce a movie based on the comic Bitterroot. And so I was like, Bitterroot, what is that? And looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is definitely something I want to check out. And suffice to say, I was not disappointed. The story is created by David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green, and the color artists are Rico Renzi and also Sanford Green, and the letterer is Clayton Cowles. The cover artist is also Sanford Green, and the editor is Heather Antos. And the story takes place in 1920s Harlem, New York, during the Harlem Renaissance, and it tells the story of a black family dynasty of monster hunters named the Sanjariers. I hope I'm saying that right. Sanjariers? Sanjaris? I'm gonna just say Sanjariers. And they have essentially been protecting the world from these monster creatures called Jinnos for generations. A terrible tragedy has devastated the numbers of the Sanjariers family, and the remaining Sanjariers have to come together to take out this looming new threat of monsters that are threatening to doom the world. And the first thing you notice when you open up any comic book, and especially this comic book, is the art. And the first 2 pages show a bunch of black people dancing and having a great time at a jazz club called Sweet Picking in New York. And the art on not even just this page, but the comic overall just looks pretty damn great. And even when you get to the depiction of the Sanjariers, like each member of this family has a very distinct look. And so with that, you have the matriarch of the family, Ma Etta. She and her family run an apothecary-like shop called the Sanjarier Tonsorial Elixirs. And that's also their base of operations. And in this, you learn that the women of the Sanjarier family, their job is essentially to do the root work of the magic family. They are basically what is called in African American lore, conjure women. And conjure women are basically black women that use herbs and magic and spirituality to both heal, tell fortunes, and to harm. And you have her granddaughter, who they call Blink. She's trying to teach her in the ways of root work and becoming a proper conjure woman to help the Sanjarier family and pass down the Sanjarier legacy. But unlike her grandmother, she doesn't want to learn the magic of root work. She wants to fight. But according to Ma Etta, the women do the brain work and the men do the brawn work. And speaking of men, you have the characters of Berg, who I believe he's the oldest, and he's definitely the big brawn of the group, but he's also an intellectual, and that's something that you learn. In every sentence that he speaks, he's using these large, exuberant words that while I was reading the comic, I found myself having to look up in the dictionary. I was like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. So you pretty much learn what you need to know about the character pretty much in the first few moments of reading him. And then you have Cullen, who I believe is the youngest. Despite him being a man and the person that's supposed to be doing the brawn work, he's not a good fighter at all. And in fact, you learn his sister is a much better fighter than even he is. And those are essentially the main 4 characters that you're following. And the thing that I liked about this comic in terms of like the mythology and the storytelling of it all is the fact that they take things in the real world and put them into a supernatural and mythological context. Almost kind of in the same way that Buffy the Vampire Slayer took the horrors of high school and put a monstrous face on it. Walker, Green, and Brown basically did the same thing with regards to racism and hatred, especially considering this takes place in the 1920s. And people that have racism in their hearts or any type of hatred in their hearts, or are even victims of hatred and racism, literally turn into monsters. And then the debate, even within the Sanjarier family, if you have that level of hatred and racism within you, can you actually be cured, or should you be put down like a dog? Because essentially you became a monster because of that. And at first, while reading it, I was like, isn't that kind of a little bit on the nose, the fact that the ones becoming the monsters are the racists? But then when you really think about it, it's like, well, racism is monstrous and it can make you monstrous and do very monstrous things. So why not take that and put a supernatural twist on it? It's things that writers have been doing for centuries. But yeah, but overall I found the book to be really interesting, and I liked the fact that there's these characters that they introduced that ultimately end up being the main villain, and the reasoning behind how they became a villain and what their motivation is, I found really interesting. And I'm not going to say what it is here, just in case there are people that want to check out the comic, which I do recommend. But yeah, I'm really interested, and I can't wait for the next trade paperback to come out so I can read the rest of the story, because I'm definitely invested, and I'm really excited to check out this eventual movie that comes out. I'm always calling for representation, so just like I said in my intro, a family of black monster hunters, like, yes, sign me up. I'm not going to use my normal rating because it's not really a movie, so I would definitely say it's a must read. But have you guys checked out Bitterroot? Because I know I'm a little late. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you can hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. But please check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.